know what I love, ladies and gentlemen? I love it when someone sits you down and gives you advice that you didn't ask for, that you don't want, that you don't need, and you know that it is absolutely terrible advice. Unsolicited advice is right up there with unsolicited dick pics. Both are common, both are probably unnecessary, and if you get either off your parents, you probably don't want them. But now, because people between the ages of 4 years old and, 30, spend all of their day on TikTok, that's where they're getting their advice from, which is horrifying. Now, given the TikTok feed is usually just chicks' buttholes, and I'm a big fan. Don't get me wrong, keep up the butthole work. Ladies, you are empowered. But in between that, sprinkled between the buttholes and the titties, is some fantastic advice that I really wanted to review today for all you great people. I wanted to react in front of you guys and just say to you, this is the type of shit advice that people are getting. Because there's a lot of advice on TikTok dedicated to relationships. What you should do as a man, what you should do as a lady, what you can and can't do, all that shit. There is dedicated hashtags to that, and that's what we're looking at today. So strap yourself in, because this is gonna get fucking weird real quick. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, this video is brought to you by a very important sponsor, and they have given me something absolutely glorious. It's this. Have a look at it. This right here declares that I am Lord Isaac Butterfield, and the beautiful sponsor's name is Established Titles. Let me tell you a little bit more about them. Hey, Claire, where are you?
Yes, Butterfield!
Nay, you must refer to me as Lord Butterfield.
Why?
Well, you see, I went to Established Titles and I bought 1 square foot of land in Scotland. And according to the beautiful Scottish customs, I am now a lord.
Can I do it as well?
Of course you can. And now finally you could become a lady. And on top of that, Established Titles plants 1 tree for every single order. So you can become a lord and a lady and save the planet. Each title pack comes with at least 1 square foot of dedicated land and a certificate with a unique plot number.
Wow, this sounds like a great gift idea. Especially a last minute gift. Especially for that uncle you know nothing about, and even for your grandparents or your partner's dad.
And now, because you're a lord or a lady, you can change your name on plane tickets or even Tinder. Lord Butterfield. That's a great Tinder name.
Listen, Butterfield, I've been meaning to tell you, you really need to get off Tinder.
Yeah, fair point. And if you head to Established Titles right now, you can be right next to me in the plot. My little bit of Scotland's next to your bit of Scotland. What a beautiful love story it is. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, Established Titles is running a massive sale. And if that wasn't enough, you can also get 10% off with the code BFIELD10. Yeah. Head to establishedtitles.com/BFIELD10 to get your beautiful gifts. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, Lord Isaac Butterfield is going to say this. Back to the video.
So for all my girlies dating men, this is what you're going to do on your date. Because I know dating can be awkward, okay? But I learned this on TikTok and I need to teach it to everyone. Okay, so the bell comes. I'm you, okay? Do you need any help with that? Okay, that... What are they going to say? Yeah, you need help with that on the bill that you wanted to take me out to that I had to get ready for? I don't think so. In a patriarchy created by men where men are paid more than women, even though women typically do a better job. In a world where all wars have been started by men. In a society where 90% of rapes are by men. Don't even get me started on the orgasm gap. No, babe, when your gender figures it out, maybe we'll talk about it.
That is a lot to unpack. First of all, if you're a man and you end up with this particular lady, she better suck the meanest dick of all time, because your life ain't worth living, champ. Secondly, I imagine that this poor lady has had one bad experience with a man and then written them all off. And that's what everyone does when they hate a particular gender. They write them off. It's a terrible way to live your life. Thirdly, she's just spouting feminism doctrine. That's all she's doing, like it's a religion, like it's the only way to live your life. And like the orgasm gap, mate, whose fault's that? We're in there throwing that sausage down there, trying to get it done, and you're whinging about orgasms. Ha! How about you try harder? If I was on a date and that was the reaction from the lady, do you need help with that? Oh my God, do you actually need help with that? Obviously I wouldn't do anything violent because I'm not a violent person, but I might gently pour a glass of wine on her head. Or at the very least, call her a because some women like that need to be called out for the they are. And men who do shit like that, call them out for the they are. Lastly, what does the amount of violent crime that men do have to do with you paying the bill? Go home and get back on your meds, you nutbag.
When walking your date to your seats, never sit across from her from the table.
Well, why can't you just sit across from each other and stare into each other's beautiful eyes? That's nice to stare into someone's internal abyss. Why would you want to sit next to someone on a first date? That's just fucking creepy. You barely know the person. Imagine going on a Tinder date, never met them before, and they sit right up next to you. Hey, yeah, do you want to tickle me pickle?
Don't let each of you just casually walk to your table either. When walking to your table, lead her to where she's gonna sit and then casually sit next to her.
No. Not ding. Sit across from each other, sit next to each other, whatever comes naturally. In these situations, you usually be able to read the other person as to what they want. You might sit across from each other like this, and then halfway through the date, they might usher you over, like, come over, it's cold, let's cuddle up. That's beautiful. Don't sit next to them and creep them out though. Fuck off. The last thing on a date that you want to do is have a plan of everything that's going to happen and how you're going to do it. Having that preconceived idea of how the date's going to go, it's going to fuck it all up for you, okay? Just be yourself, relax, and whatever you do, don't tell the truth. Just lie, lie, lie!
Always be a gentleman and pour her drink before pouring your own.
Agreed, but here is a very important tip. Do not, and I repeat, do not put roofies in a drink. Don't do it! I know you're thinking about it. Don't you do it. I don't care what professional sports team you play for or what footy team you play for. Don't you do it.
If there's a napkin on the table, make sure you unravel it and put it on her lap for her.
And if she's ugly, you can put it over her head. Repeat after me, gents, and it's important to remember this one. Are you ready? Repeat after me. Any hole is a goal.
You don't want the conversation to end. Here's a good texting tip. Don't ever say goodnight. Don't ever say, oh, I'll talk to you later. You have to disappear for any period of time. Don't explain it. Just disappear.
Oh, fuck. I hate tips about how to text people. They are the worst. You gotta wait 45 days. You gotta send them a fucking emoji first. You gotta get into their house in the middle of the night and take a photo of them while they sleep and then send it to them. That's a great way to a girl's heart. Fuck tips about texting someone. If you like someone, reply to them. If you don't, fuck them off. Oh, you gotta spell things incorrectly so you can get to know their chakras and understand. Fuck off. Just reply to people or don't.
What are you supposed to do in this situation?
I know exactly what you're supposed to do. All right, if a lady falls over in front of you, you eat her ass. Duh.
So you're talking to a new guy and he asks you, so what is it that you look for in a guy? Like, what kind of qualities do you like in a man? Let me tell you why you should never answer that question up front.
Here is why. Because dating's not about being open and honest with each other. It's about deceiving one another until you've been in a relationship for so long that they can't get out, and then you reveal the truth. This is all shit advice. It's just shit advice. You want good advice? I just got married. Do you want good advice? Do what I did. Find your best friend, all right? Find someone that doesn't play games or any of that type of shit. Find someone who you get along with like a house on fire. Claire and I have never had a fight. We've never had an argument. We get along every single day. I work from home. She works from home. We spend all day together. We train at the gym together. We do everything together, and we're best mates. That's what you want. You don't want someone who has to play games with you all the fucking time. Fuck that. And if you don't want to do that, ladies, and he asks you what type of man you want, just say you want a Sudanese man with a 12-inch cock. See what he says.
First of all, the only reason a guy's going to ask you that question is so that he can find the fastest way to get you hooked. Because if he knows what you want, he's just going to be that person.
Obviously, for every shit woman that exists in this world, there's just as many shit men. Being a shit person is not tied to gender. And yes, they may become the person that you want them to be, or they think that you want them to be, just to get into your pants. And that's a risk. Dating is a risk. But What if they're just a genuinely great person and you're so terrified about all this shit because you've watched some stupid fucking TikTok about relationships that you don't meet that person, that you don't hang out with that person, that you don't get to know that person, and then you miss out. Point being, don't listen to some fucking idiot who's doing makeup tutorials on how to have the perfect relationship.
I'm going to tell you how you're going to answer that question. You're going to tell him, how about you show me who you are, and then I'll let you know if you're the kind of guy I'm looking for. That way, he'll take you seriously because he knows you're not easily manipulated.
No, he will think you suck as a human. He'll probably still try and fuck you though, because repeat after me, any hole is a goal. But then give you the flick because you are so far up your own ass, it is tough to breathe.
In order to avoid the friend zone, you have to be aware of the things that get you friend zoned and not do those things, like asking her how her day was.
The friend zone, or as I call it, me at high school. We're told as young men that you don't want to be friend zoned, okay? And the worst thing to happen if you are interested in a lady is to be friend zoned. And the best way to not get friend zoned is not to be their friend. Now, I figured out later on in life that the best way to be friend zoned is to be ugly. That's what it comes down to. She's just not interested in you, all right? End of the fucking story. But I did work out that, and this actually works, a good way not to end up in the friend zone of ladies is to be a dick, all right? To be mean, to be rude. For some reason, some ladies like this. Not the lady you want to marry or to have your kids, any hole is a goal, right? But I found this out and I tried this as a younger dude, but it just wasn't me. I can't keep that act up. It's bullshit. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be someone that you're not just to impress someone. Fuck that. In saying that, if you're not willing to do those things, then you will remain a calloused hand teenager because you can't get a root. So you got to weigh these things up.
This is how to make someone instantly obsessed with you.
Show them your tits, ladies. It's that fucking easy.
Stop messaging women back right away and use these 5 strategies instead.
Have a look at this. Oh my, Gary Gun Show. You peaky blinder looking peaky beater. That's what you fucking are, mate. Give us some tips, you wanker.
Number 1, the 2-for-1 rule. To establish whether a woman likes you, don't reply to her next message.
No, do not be a wanker. That is my number 1 tip. Do not be a wanker.
Number 2, ignore questions. By deliberately ignoring her questions, you can spark some interest.
Fucking sociopath.
Number 3, the 48-hour rule. If she's taking ages to reply to your messages, then leave it 48 hours before replying to any messages.
Fucking take 6 months. Take 2 years. Have a child in between replies. That will get her moister than an oyster.
Number 4, the delete and block rule. If she's wasting your time, then take control, delete her number, block her, and move on.
Actually, that one's not a bad one. I like that one.
Number 5, the no reply rule. If you read her message, rather than replying on autopilot, just stop for a second and decide, does this warrant a reply or not?
Do not play games with people. And I tell you what, if they want to play games with you, they're not the one for you, mate.
The sexiest things men can do on a first date. Fellas, take notes because these are some really good ones. Make a conscious effort to sit facing the door or the entryway. Women are attracted to men that are aware of their surroundings.
Fair point. Ladies in the comments, let me know. If you're on a date and the man is not ready for an active shooter to storm the building, will your legs open at all?
Avoid self-deprecating language. It makes you extremely unattractive. I do not want to have to sit there and validate you.
Yes, don't be self-deprecating. Here's some examples. Oh my God, I'm worried my dick's too big. Don't say stuff like that. Oh my God, my muscles are just so fucking percolating. My fucking buttons keep flying off. Don't say stuff like that. Be yourself, all right? Just talk about her.
Ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are not a question that could be responded with a yes or no.
So tell me your thoughts on Roe v. Wade.
Smile. It can change the entire vibe of the night.
The number 1 test she must pass before you make her your girlfriend.
Mate, where the fuck is your shirt? I'm not taking advice from a dude without a shirt and with veneers. Not happening, bruz. I don't care how recently you went to Turkey for new veneers. I'm not listening to you.
So, if you're one of those guys and you see a cute girl at your gym, maybe your local grocery store, and you walk up to her and you just give her a short, sweet little compliment, you don't even ask for her number, and you just walk away, and you think that's gonna work, you are absolutely right. That shit works 90% of the time.
Hey, I bet your asshole smells like vanilla.
One of the most unattractive behaviors is neediness. I'll give you 3 examples.
I'll give you one example of fucking unattractiveness, mate. Whispering in TikToks. Stop it. Why are you whispering?
Maybe you're out at a nightclub and the night's getting late and you think to yourself, I need to take a girl home. Maybe all of your friends are getting into relationships and you feel the need to get into a relationship. This feeling is a vibration. Your feelings vibrate energy.
Okay, mate, you should just shut the fuck up. You lost me there. You have fucking lost me. Listen up, dickheads. Do you want to know real relationship advice? You want to know the real stuff? I'm not just talking about sex, I'm talking about finding someone perfect for you. If you want to find someone perfect, if you want to find your life partner, then first of all, you need to be worthy of someone. If you can't be attracted to yourself, or if you can't find yourself interesting, or you can't think about the things that you do and go, that's really cool, then why would anyone else? Work on yourself, train hard, go to the gym, lose weight, look like you give a shit. Have hobbies, have things that are happening in your life that are interesting, like you're moving forward, that you're not just stuck in the same dead-end job. Keep moving forward. Become more intelligent, educate yourself, listen to podcasts, read books, all that shit. These are the things that you need to be doing before you meet someone. Then be yourself. There's no point living a lie. You don't want that. You don't want to. These are these relationships that fall apart. Like a lot of people's parents, they never lived together before they got married. Then they live together and they fucking hate each other. Let someone know who you are. If they don't like it, move on, find someone else. Find someone who is your best friend that you love spending each day with. And then if they're a mad hottie, then you got a fucking deal. And then you get married, all right? That's how you fucking do it. And if you're not with that person who ticks all those boxes right now, I know it's pretty crazy to say, fuck them off. Move on. Find someone new. Ladies and gentlemen, be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East, my dick stinks. Come and see me live. I've got 8 shows left this year. Toodaloo, au revoir, bye-bye.
Hold up, now do what you do. Get loud, go ahead, get loose. Get down to business.